It's showtime. Let's get on to another little talking point for the evening here. You know, some people call this the horse race. Talking about old Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Hell, I'm a cowboy. Let's talk about some fucking horse race. What do things look like for Trump versus Biden going into November? A lot of people are talking about it, right? Joe Biden, of course, are kind of hiding old Gramps off TV because you never know when his dementia's gonna kick in and he's gonna, say some dumb shit and really stick his foot in his mouth. So let's have some scripted appearances. Maybe he can go back on a news channel again and embarrass the fuck out of Stacey Abrams, but just keep his appearances minimum, okay? But in the world of the lovely President Donald Trump, woo, now that's another story, isn't it? Donald Trump gave a very, 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 very lengthy explanation why he had to walk so carefully down the ramp with his leather bottom shoes on. He didn't want to slide and bust his orange butt, I guess, huh? Well, he gave that big long explanation at his rally in Oklahoma, the rally that not a lot of people came out to. Also the rally, we've now found out that 6 of the people who helped set the stage up, they've tested positive for COVID-19. Wow. Okay. That was, whoo boy. Republicans, RNC, Trump campaign. You're doing a crackerjack job of being safe now, aren't you? Okay. So think of that what you want to. That there's now a risk that there could be a massive COVID-19 outbreak in Oklahoma because of Trump's rally, which again did not turn out the kind of numbers that he had anticipated that it was going to turn out. Okay. But nonetheless, okay, that's what's come out. And here is one big takeaway that we noticed from Donald Trump's little rally. I've been kind of saying that I felt like that at this point now, things could swing again between now and November. Donald Trump, I still say if Donald Trump gets on a debate stage with Joe Biden, I'm going to feel like I'm watching a cheetah pounce an antelope on the Animal Planet. If I see Donald Trump get a hold of Joe Biden on a debate stage, even though all this stuff is going on, Trump is going to eat this man's intestines on a debate stage. And that's just my opinion. We'll see what happens. But nonetheless, okay, nonetheless, there is one serious problem. And some other commentators have brought this up as well. Donald Trump is not running as the Donald Trump of 2016, and I think it's going to be to his own detriment. People wanted the Donald Trump of 2016 for 3 reasons. The first reason would be, well, he's Republican, and we always vote Republican, so they voted Republican. The second reason would have been, we don't fucking like Clinton and don't fucking want Hillary Clinton, so we better just vote for Donald Trump, because what the fuck, maybe this crazy sumbitch will do something right, but we damn sure don't want Clinton. Some of those are even the Bernie supporters who just wanted to stick it to Clinton for rigging an election. So that was the second reason. And the third reason was just genuinely people thought the man was going to be a massive outsider who would really be a blue-collar president, would fight for jobs, would really try to fix trade, X, Y, and Z. That's the 3 reasons that a lot of people really went out to vote for Donald Trump in 2016. Well, he's kind of trying to play the outsider, but what is he talking about? What is he hitting as his talking points? Is he talking about the Hunter Biden thing constantly anymore? Not really. Yeah, sure, he'll probably bring it up and dust it off when the time is right, but he's not really hammering Joe on that at the moment. What is Trump's big bragging point now? He's not hammering Joe on what he's going to do on trade. His big talking point is the stock market. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That lovely stock market. The stock market that's doing well after the fucking federal government just propped them up to no end during the COVID-19 crisis. But they didn't prop the average American people up that way. And don't even tell me that the $1,200 stimulus check propped a fucking family up. That stimulus check would cover 2 small house payments for a small house here in the South, right? Or in South Carolina anyway. But that don't cover food, utilities, or many other things. And considering how many people lost their jobs as a result of COVID-19. Again, and this is operating in South Carolina. Fuck that shit. Try to make $1,200 go very far in New York. You know, it reminds me of a fucking joke that I heard on the old TV show Hee Haw from back in the fucking day when I lived with my grandparents and watched this show. And the joke went along the lines of there was a man in New York who was held up in an alley, and a guy pulled a gun on him and said, "All right, give me all of your money or I'm going to blow your brains out." The guy said, "Well, you might as well just go ahead and blow my brains out." He said, "Are you crazy? What's the matter with you? How come you want me to do that?" He said, "Well, you can be up here in New York with no brains, but you can't be in New York with no money." Ba-dum-ching. Corny as fuck, I know. Point being is, fucking the cost of living in New York is well on up there compared to where it is around here. So $1,200 is a fucking peanut in a lot of ways to what those folks need income-wise. And yet again, it was $1,200 across the board. That's been my whole contention with the whole minimum wage argument being done such a federal level as a blanket passing. I think the federal government, if they're going to do it, should break it down state by state and help figure out what the minimum wage should be state by state. That's a much better way to approach a minimum wage, not just one fucking blanket wage, because things cost different everywhere you go. Hell, I can travel out of state and the price of gas jumps through the damn roof. So, I mean, you can't really make that much of a comparison. But again, Trump, hey, pitching the stock market. Oh, how great the stock market's doing. Again, that's, because you've been over and you fondled Wall Street's nuts a little here and you really helped them out and really, gave them quite the ass kissing that they so well paid you to give them, such, in case such predicament should ever arise. You won't convince me that's not why they don't fund your campaigns. That's exactly why they fund your campaigns. So the thing is, Donald Trump's running on this platform instead of really coming across as that outsider. And there's not that many blue-collar people this time around who are going to really feel that the stock market... Sure, if you've got a big 401k, you want to see the stock market do great because that's your retirement money. I got a mother-in-law who... every time the stock market goes down, she's acting like it's a gut punch because she's watching that money for her retirement, right? So people with 401k might be cheering it on, but the average American who's still not getting their job back, or the average American that Trump hasn't really delivered on a lot of his promises to, well, now that person might not be so pleased with what's going on right now. So as things stand right now, because of the way that the Democrats are really pitching Joe Biden and keeping him out of the public view, and because of the way that Donald Trump is now starting to run his campaign as more of a almost insider with an outsider's mouth, at this point, I have to honestly say, I feel like there is a good bit of momentum, and polls are saying this as well. I think the momentum is definitely shifting over toward Joe. But again, time will tell. Let's see what Donald Trump does between now and November. Because again, I think if he gets on the debate stage, this thing is going to swing right back in the other direction. Because Trump will get up there and make an ass clown out of Joe Biden on a debate stage, in my, blue collar Southern opinion here. But with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed our special coverage of the Horse Race 2020, and we hope you will tune in next time when we talk about the horse race again.